I wouldn't say there was.
Yeah. I just go on what I've seen and what I've learned from class.
So you believe?
Yeah.
You know what that's called?
What?
Blind faith.
Blind faith.
Faith is the great cop-out, the great excuse to evade the need to think and evaluate evidence. Richard Dawkins.
Do you believe in intelligent design?
Of course not.
Do you think everything is intelligently designed?
No, I don't believe that things are intelligently designed.
Okay, you seem like an intelligent person, so I'm going to ask you something. I'd like you to make me a rose, okay? How would you make a rose?
I don't have the capabilities to do that.
Hang on. No, it's not intelligently designed, so you should better whip me up a rose real quick. Do you believe a rose is intelligently designed?
Definitely not.
In order for me to know what to make, I have to know what a rose is.
Well, it's got a seed, so you've got to start with nothing and you've got to create a seed from nothing.
Oh.
Can you do that?
No, I can't.
Could you make a rose from nothing?
No.
Can't make something from nothing. It's just basic, science.
A rose from nothing?
A rose.
Just like, I can't, honestly.
Why not?
Me, I have no supernatural abilities.
All the geniuses in the world can't make a grain of sand from nothing. We don't know where to start.
I can't.
Why not?
I don't have millions, billions of years.
That would be physically impossible. I mean, I would have to. That's not possible.
So how could you say everything's not intelligently designed? Where does that leave you on the scale of intelligence if you say everything's not intelligently designed and you can't even make a rose?
Why do you think there's no one teaching intelligent design at UCLA?
Because they're not allowed to.
We can teach anything we want.
There's a reason intelligent design isn't taught in our learning institutions. According to physicist Victor Stenger, the legal staff of Freedom from Religion Foundation, a church-state watchdog group, has had remarkable success in convincing many institutions, such as school boards and town councils, that they are breaking constitutional law when they sponsor sectarian activities. That includes intelligent design. When the authorities can't be convinced, Freedom from Religion Foundation sues, and it wins more often than not.
There was nothing in the beginning, big explosion of nothing, it became something, and then it came into a rose. And giraffes and horses and cows.
I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying I don't know what happened. That's what scientists have theorized has happened, and
you believe them
to a point.
So you've got faith.
That is true, yeah.
Could you give me a definition of vestigials? How's that back up evolution?
Vestigial is like, I'm not a biologist, so I'm kind of fuzzy here, but it's like a remaining organ that is not used. Like for instance, our appendix. Rabbits have huge appendix for digestion of grass. We still have a vestigial appendix organ.
The appendix has no use?
Which we can think of right now.
Your coccyx bone, that was, many people regard that as the tail of the humans.
The human tailbone is said to be vestigial. That is, it's an evolutionary leftover proving that we're related to primates. However, it's not a tailbone, it's the coccyx vertebrae. The tailbone derived its name because some people believe it's a leftover part from human evolution, though the notion that the tailbone serves no purpose is wrong. The coccyx is an extremely important source of attachment for tendons, ligaments, and muscles. Evolutionists also claim that the appendix is vestigial, but it's not. The appendix is actually part of the human immune system. According to Scientific American, for years, the appendix was credited with very little physiological function. We now know, however, that the appendix serves an important role in the fetus and in young adults. Among adult humans, the appendix is now thought to be involved primarily in the immune functions.
I would consider myself an atheist, yeah.
Can you think of any famous atheists?
I believe Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said, "I can't agree to the claims by atheists that I'm one of that community." Can you name a few?
Famous atheists. Apparently not.
Start with Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton said, "The most beautiful system of the sun, planets and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of an intelligent and powerful being."
Can you think of any famous atheists?
Yeah. No.
A famous atheist.
Yeah, a famous atheist.
Yeah, my dad.
He's not famous. Skeptics' websites often include examples of famous atheists in an attempt to win converts. But more often than not, the famous personalities cited are not actually atheists. This is a popular atheist poster on which are Ernest Hemingway, Abraham Lincoln, Carl Sagan, Mark Twain, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Albert Einstein, and Charles Darwin, along with the words, "Atheism, good enough for these idiots." Clearly, atheism is for intellectuals. But one moment, Abraham Lincoln wasn't an atheist. He said, "I know that the Lord is always on the side of the right, but it's my constant anxiety and prayer that I and this nation should be on the Lord's side." Neither was Carl Sagan. He clearly stated, "I am an agnostic." Mark Twain hated religion, but he certainly wasn't an atheist, saying, "None of us can be as great as God, but any of us can be as good." Benjamin Franklin said, "God governs in the affairs of men." You'll find Thomas Edison listed on Celebrity Atheists, on Positive Atheism, and other atheist websites, but he wasn't an atheist. He said, "There is a great directing head of people and things, a supreme being who looks after the destinies of the world." Thomas Jefferson said, "Say nothing of my religion. It is known to myself and my God alone." Albert Einstein rejected the Bible as the Word of God and said that the Creator was unknowable and that God, being personal, was childlike. He lamented, "In view of such harmony in the cosmos, which I, with my limited human understanding, am able to recognize, there are yet people who say there is no God. Well, what really makes me angry is that they quote me to support such views." He categorically said, "I am not an atheist," and when referring to those who deny the Creator, he used the term fanatical atheists. Charles Darwin said, "I have never been an atheist." So out of the 8 famous men on the poster, there was only one who was an atheist, Ernest Hemingway. According to his biographer, back in 1961, Hemingway, quote, "pushed 2 shells into the 12-gauge Boss shotgun, put the end of the barrel into his mouth, pulled the trigger, and blew out his brains." There's your poster boy when it comes to atheism. Keep in mind that even though some of these men claim to believe in God, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're believers in the one true Creator revealed in the Scriptures, or that they're genuine Christians. However, when atheists use theists or agnostics to promote their godless agenda, they're being dishonest. Then again, coming from those who claim that morality is relative to each person, convenient dishonesty should not be a surprise. Do you believe in moral absolutes?
No, I do not.
Is rape wrong?
Rape is wrong in our culture, yes. And it is
rape always wrong?
It depends on your beginnings. If you say that you have a respect for other human beings, then yes, rape is always wrong.
So there are moral absolutes. Is rape absolutely wrong?
In my opinion, it is.
Who makes the rules?
We do.
So if Hitler made the rules and he had the majority...
If Hitler made the rules, yes, we would be living in a society that Hitler would consider moral, but which I would not consider moral.
Did Hitler put into practice survival of the fittest?
No.
What was he doing then?
He was murdering people.
That's survival of the fittest.
That's not survival of the fittest.
It is. It's the lion eating the antelope.
No, there's much more to evolution than just this kind of crude kill and be killed model that you have in your head.
But I have seen a quote from Richard Dawkins saying, "Evolution in its rawest is incredibly cruel."
It is. Yes.
That was Hitler putting evolution into practice.
That does not mean it was moral. Nobody
was immoral.
Nobody's claiming that evolution is a moral process. Evolution is a very harsh and cruel process.
Do you believe in evolution?
Yes, I do.
You have a dog?
Yes.
Love your dog?
I do love my dog.
Yes, I do. I love animals.
Okay. Well, your pet dog and your rotten neighbor are drowning. You'd only save one of them. Who would you save?
That is a tough one.
You only save one?
Why are you hesitating?
I think I would save my dog.
I don't know why I'm really hesitating. Because I don't know. I feel like people would see me as a bad person if I said the dog.
I'll save my dog.
So, is your neighbor not worth saving?
Well, he's not worth saving more than my dog is.
I'd go with the dog.
I mean, you would want to save the animal, so I would want to save my dog.
Well, we're animals. I believe we're all equal. I don't think humans have like a higher place.
So you think dogs are more valuable than human beings? Do you believe in evolution?
Yes, I do.
So it's just a matter of survival of the fittest. Your neighbor's a primate, and you've got a canine, and you like the canine more than you like the primate. Would that be right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's survival of the fittest. I mean,
survival of the fittest?
Yeah, pretty much.
You said you believe in evolution. So it's just a matter of survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
If he drowns, he drowns. Big deal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is true.
Are you an atheist?
Yeah.
Any fetus is less human than an adult pig. Richard Dawkins.
So you don't think God exists?
More like I know.
Are you comfortable talking about spiritual things?
I don't know much about them because they're not really capable of knowledge.
Once we're dead, we stop that. We stop.
How do you know?
Because it's just what the facts are. Like if you stopped breathing right now, you'd be considered dead.
Jacob, if you were a car and your motor got turned off, that'd be right. That's inanimate. But you're a living, biological human being with a life of God in you.
We are a mechanical being because we have different parts that.
Is there no life in you?
Yes, there's life in me.
That's your soul. Okay, can you handle some questions? They're pretty pointed questions.
Sure.
Are you a good person? Are you going to make it to heaven?
I would like to think so.
Do I think I'm a good person? Yeah.
Are you a good person, morally?
Yes, I am.
Do you think you're a good person?
Yes.
I like to believe so, yeah.
How many lies have you told in your whole life?
I wouldn't be able to count.
I don't know if I could remember.
Can you be honest with me?
Yeah.
How many lies do you think you've told in your whole life?
Oh, quite a few.
Countless.
Uncountable.
What would you call me if I told lots of lies? Countless lies. You'd call me a liar, wouldn't you?
Of course.
What do you call someone who's told thousands of lies?
A liar?
So what are you?
I'm a liar.
Have you ever stolen something in your whole life, even if it's small?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever taken something belonging to someone else?
Of course.
Sure.
Yes, I have.
That's called theft. So what are you?
A liar and a thief. I'm a liar and a thief.
Have you ever used God's name in vain?
Oh, every day.
Have you ever used God's name in vain?
Oh, all the time.
Have you ever used God's name in vain?
It's probably so.
Have you ever used God's name in vain?
Yep.
I have indeed.
It's called blasphemy. It's very serious to use God's name as a cuss word.
I don't believe in blaspheming since I don't believe in God. So if you don't believe